Tonight, KXAN investigates a wholesale kitchen remodeling company in Austin. Coleman Wholesale promises custom cabinets and more for thousands of dollars less than the competition. But some customers who contacted our KXAN Investigates tip line claim that they didn't get what they paid for. Our Chris Willis is live tonight with more. Chris?
Leslie, good evening to you. The president of Coleman Wholesale is Alan Coleman. He claims in his brochure to do 15 to 20 kitchen remodels a month and says his prices are so good he gets 3 out of every 4 jobs that he bids. So when our viewers started calling and emailing about Alan Coleman, we wanted to get some answers.
I am a wholesaler, direct, installed.
Alan Coleman is the president of Coleman Wholesale. And when it comes to custom cabinets and kitchen remodeling, he wants your business.
Show me some identification, buddy. I mean, I've got a bankrupt business going on here. What are you doing?
What he did not want the first time we found him was to answer any of our questions about his business.
I mean, seriously.
Don't touch me.
Initially, he didn't answer his phone, so we found him. And for the record, Coleman Wholesale is not a bankrupt business yet.
And demanded that the money should be paid in advance. And
All I wanted was a kitchen that I had already paid for.
And he still has my money, and I didn't get anything for it.
At KXAN, we get hundreds of calls and emails from unhappy consumers. But rarely do we have so many complaining about the same business. There are more people who contacted us, but we've talked to 3 on camera. And they say they all have 2 things in common. They did business with Coleman Wholesale, and they all say they're out thousands of dollars.
they simply don't have glass.
Yolanda Wheaton says she put down nearly $17,000 on a Coleman custom kitchen, and after she paid, she says the excuses began. Wheaton claims she got low-grade boxed cabinets, complete with peeling paint, doors that don't close, and poorly measured countertops that stick out of the wall. Appliances, she claims, came in mismatched boxes, and a lot of work didn't get done.
And the deal was you had to buy everything from him. You couldn't piecemeal this or that. It had to be the whole package. This is my kitchen.
Bill Marquardt says he agreed to spend more than $21,000 on a Coleman custom kitchen. He says he put a large chunk of that money down up front.
$16,700.
Months had gone by, and Bill says some cabinets arrived, but were improperly installed and with several pieces missing, including his refrigerator and his granite. He says Coleman wanted more money to complete the job. Bill says he gave him another $4,000, but then refused to give him any more.
Then he redid the quote. He sent it back to me and said, $50,000. If you want any of your stuff, I need a cashier's check for the entire amount. That was the last correspondence that I've had from him.
Bill Marquardt's a scumbag, and he needs to pay me what he owes me if he wants his products.
Alan Coleman finally agreed to an interview, but he insisted the location be at a safe place, at one of his happy customers' homes. He started the interview by reading a prepared statement and videotaping us recording him.
I'd like to thank KXAN and the Better Business Bureau of Austin for the opportunity to respond to the allegations against my small family business.
Coleman's response is simple. He says the people who claim they are unhappy with his work,
The only sink I have is in the garage.
are in collusion and conspiring to run him out of town.
I believe this group has run a coordinated slander campaign.
Coleman says he has many satisfied customers and says he plans on suing those who are speaking out against him. He says based on his lawyer's advice, he's withholding his documents, but he wouldn't even tell us who his lawyer is. So we asked him specific questions about allegations of incomplete work, mismeasurements, taking money without delivering appliances or granite, and his answers were consistent.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to comment on the matter. I've been advised not to comment any further. I have nothing further to comment.
The Better Business Bureau says Coleman Wholesale has received numerous complaints in a short period of time. The company has an F rating with the BBB. The day of our interview, Mr. Coleman went to the Better Business Bureau to try and address some of those complaints.
For many of these consumers who have paid tens of thousands possibly up front, unless they have something in writing that says that they can get a refund, unfortunately, we're in a situation where the company's policy is no refunds.
Was very threatening and said that he would sue me if I said anything bad about him or his company.
67-year-old school teacher Eileen Chi is one of the people Coleman says is part of a conspiracy to ruin him. She says she paid Coleman a little more than half of the $20,000 custom kitchen bill with a Visa card, and Visa disputed the charges. But first, she said she had to get 4 independent appraisers to evaluate the cabinets that she did get, and they all agreed
They were substandard cabinets.
She did not like our company policies and has worked against us and worked to ruin our name ever since.
And as our interview ended, we asked Coleman what these people would have to gain by conspiring to ruin him, especially since many of them have claimed to have lost thousands.
What does he get from roading you? Nothing. He's out $21,000.
I haven't seen his kitchen, man. I have not seen what he's done lately.
He paid for a
Enlighten
fridge
me.
And didn't get it.
Enlighten me.
Yeah.
Show me
Look,
some
man, as a
pictures.
business owner, you should not be asking me to enlighten you about your work.
Well, despite claiming that he has several happy customers, Coleman refused to give us any of their names. Coleman was also sued in Travis County by a granite dealer last week who won a summary judgment for $55,000. His storefront is now locked up. And we know that because we went there. We found a note in the window notifying Coleman he owes nearly $29,000 in past rent. But Coleman says it's the landlord who owes him money. His website is still up. He says he's still doing business, even offering franchise opportunities. As far as Coleman's bankruptcy, we checked the latest filings in federal court, and Coleman Wholesale is not currently in bankruptcy proceedings, but he says he's in the process of filing. We have posted Alan Coleman's entire prepared statement with this story at our website at KXAN.com. We're in the studio tonight live. Chris Willis, KXAN News.